This is D, and we are on.
Creatures of Pop.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have very special guest Miles Doleac, who just released The Hollow, which is in theaters and video on demand October 7th, which is yesterday. So we're a day late and a dollar short, should we say? But yeah, at least we made it to October 8th. So that's true. But definitely check your local theaters and check this movie out. Me and Monster have reviewed it, and so it is an amazing film. And we're going to take a few moments here and speak with Miles Doleac. Good evening, Miles. How are you doing today?
I'm well, sir. How are you?
Doing great, man. Thank you for asking. And we'll just kind of dive straight into this. What was your you wrote and direct The Hollow. What was your
Right.
whenever you were writing it? What was your motivation behind the story?
Well, I've always been fascinated with the true crime genre. Um, the combination of that and having had the desire for a long time to write something in the Southern Gothic mold. I'm a great fan of Southern authors like William Faulkner, Tennessee Williams, Theodore Welty, uh, all of whom hail from my home state of Mississippi. And I wanted to sort of do something that was a bit of an homage to them, literary heroes of mine. Um, a lot of great true crime movies out there that inspired me, like Blood Simple and the Coen Brothers, No Country for Old Men. And I was about halfway through the first season of True Detective when I really realized what the true crime genre was capable of. And I saw really a perfect opportunity to write that Beach South Southern Gothic film with a true crime kind of bent to it. So I sat down and started writing The Hollow.
Now, after initially watching The Hollow, I was drawn into these characters, um, especially the character that you play. Was he more of the intended to be the protagonist of the story?
It's funny you should say that. I originally wrote the script thinking that Bond would be our protagonist, and in fact, I originally wrote Bond to play him myself. And my wife, early on in the casting process, uh, got me thinking. She said you should really think about playing Ray instead. I think the character is more right for you. Um, and as the I guess as the film began to pan out, it seemed that Ray was as large a protagonist as Vaughn was. I had kind of written him as a spoil for Vaughn, but he really loomed large. He sort of took on, I think, the weight of the movie as production wore on, and just in a very organic way. I loved him on the page, but I hadn't really imagined him as our central protagonist as I was writing it. I really thought that would be Bond, but um, I guess it sort of turned out that way. At the end of the day, he seems to be the character that drives the story forward, at least primarily.
Now, Bonham was played by James Callis, which we know him from Battlestar Galactica, who played Gaius Baltar and numerous other films and movies. Mostly for me, I remember him as Bias Baltar. And one thing I was noticing about this film is you have a lot of really good and talented people that worked on this project. Did you have a difficulty getting everyone on board, or was it fairly simple?
Well, it's always a challenge as an independent filmmaker where you have pretty constrained budgetary situation that you're dealing with. You can't pay actors what they're used to making on big budget Hollywood movies. So the only thing that you have at your disposal is your reputation and the script to draw them in. Some of these actors I had worked with before, certainly Bill Sadler, who was in my first feature as historian, and I wrote the sheriff with him in mind. Uh, and the others we just approached with the script and pitched it to them, and they were excited about the material. And James came on very late in the game. He had a really hard time sitting down an actor for that role for a number of reasons. And James came up very late. I think we wound up casting for about 72 hours before we started shooting. But I'm so glad the thing did come up. I was a huge fan of Battlestar, and this guy's Baltar was absolutely my favorite character in it. And at the end of the day, he was more than anybody who considered beforehand. And James became a great creative partner on the film, and I am happy to now count him as a good friend of mine and look forward to working with him in the future. It's just tremendous to work with.
Now, not to give any spoilers away, but I did notice that with Bond, he comes with a lot of baggage and issues, and Ray also, in the same light, has created his own baggage and issues. With the story, with the way it goes, you can almost see like the two characters are almost the flip side of a coin.
Yeah, I think there is that element to the script, and intentionally so. They're mirror images of one another to one degree or another. One is the yin, the other is yang. Um, and in a way, they're the same creature in different geographic circumstances, and they handle those wounds that just won't heal in slightly different ways. Um, but I do believe that there's a great deal of similarity between the two characters, and a kind of pathos and a rage in those two characters that ties them together. And I hope that comes out in the film. And we sort of shot the film the way the way the scenes are structured. They sort of are parallel one another. Their journeys parallel one another. You know, there's even one shot where they're seen in a mirror, in a rearview mirror together. So I very much wanted that element of Ray is Bond's obverse, or vice versa, however you want to phrase it.
And I think that's where I really enjoyed the film is once you got to know the character Ray, and with the introduction of Bond, you kind of gather that when these two clash, that there's gonna be fireworks as soon as these two get to these two alpha males hit head to head.
Like a Batman and Joker type situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. It's certainly a combustible situation, and I wanted to, for the vast majority of the movie, leave the audience to imagine what might happen when these two men actually come together. I mean, at the end of the day, they don't share a great deal of screen time. But the moments they are on screen together, even if they're not directly entangled, I feel like there's a great deal of tension, and that was certainly what we were aiming for.
I can almost see, envision, after I watched the movie, I was kind of thinking to myself, I would really like to see these two characters like be partners and try to solve a crime.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, it certainly would be interesting. Yeah.
It'd be like, wow, this is like fire and water right here. Just throw it in the middle of the floor and see how the house burns down.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Now you also have William Forsythe in your film.
Uh
Uh,
huh.
how was he working with the film, and whenever you brought him on board into playing the character Big John?
Well, Will is such a dynamic presence. Um, he's such a big personality, and he's really made a career of playing these types of roles. But what I love about Will is there's this seething, quiet menace about him that's so wonderful for Big John. He doesn't have to scream and yell. He just looks at you with those eyes and that gravelly voice, and he can just deliver a line that cuts you to pieces. Um, so it was really fascinating watching Will work and watching him dive into this character of Big John, who's an incredibly ominous and terrifying and psychopathic personality, and Will really embraced it, and I think he knocked it out of the park.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, whenever the story was progressing, and as I was watching the film, I found myself drawn into each character. And with that, wanting to kind of explore a little bit more into their psyche and what created them. Have you thought
Yeah.
about, are you still experimenting with or doing the true crime genres, or will we ever see these characters reappear in anything in the future?
So, um, the the genre continues to fascinate me for sure. Southern Gothic certainly fascinates me, and it's quite possible that my next project will be set in the Deep South as well. Um, Whether we'll see these particular characters again, who knows? I suppose to some degree or another it depends upon the ultimate success of the Hollow and how audiences respond to it. Um, but the genre is something that's very interesting to me, and the setting, the geography, the culture, and complicated perspectives of the deepest part of the Deep South. And I think you'll certainly see me working in that geographic and cultural milieu again.
Awesome, and definitely. Where was the film actually filmed at? Did you actually go to the South to film most of it?
Yes, we shot it in Mississippi. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was watching it. I was kind of like, some of these look like the small towns that we have here. Because we're actually located in base out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. So, you know, that southern mentality is very strong here in some of the areas and some of the towns. And you do see a lot of
Uh,
these archetypes come out, and you can kind of help me envision the movie and the film itself whenever I was watching
Yeah, it could have been in any small town in Oklahoma. I mean, really.
it.
yeah. Yeah, these locations were. I am from Mississippi. It's a shooting in my home state, and these locations in particular, they're so lush and gritty and nasty and gorgeous. And I was so pleased with how they came off in the film. And, I mean, and many of these locations are exactly as you see them on the screen. I mean, you walk into these places, mom and pop pick pack, McDonald's store and hot coffee, Mississippi, or the Magnolia Inn on Highway 49 outside Hattiesburg. I mean, that's what they look like, and it's I'd walk into these places, my location manager would find them, or somebody would recommend them, and I'd walk in and I'd be like, wow, um, no art director needed, really. I mean, so I'm really really pleased that we were able to shoot at some of these locations, and they just came off brilliantly in the film, I think.
Yeah, the store, uh, the where Bond was looking for the liquor. I've been in a store like that where it's like we don't like the devil's liquor here and all that stuff. That really hit home. That was awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, give me. Let's see. Now, whenever you say what was your best experience coming with this? I do notice that you have a lot of credits to your name. Where do you find yourself where you're happier at as far as writing, directing, acting? Where do you find that you feel more at home at in that process?
Well, I think first and foremost, I will always see myself as an actor. Um, and I started writing my own movies and directing my own movies to give myself bigger and better opportunities as an actor. But I have really come to enjoy directing. I enjoy working with actors. I love to uh, explore and investigate the technical elements of cinema, which is especially true on The Hollow. I think we did some really neat things with the way we shot the film, and our use of vintage lenses and color dynamics in the film. Um, but at the end of the day, I still feel like I'm primarily an actor. All of them are wonderful, interesting animals, that have their own uh, eccentricities and difficulties and complications and all those things. But I think for the most part, I would say actor first and director second. But the thing is, and I think what's great is that actors say, "Hey, Miles is an actor's director." Well, that is because I come from an acting background. I know what actors need to hear. I know how I would want to be talked to or directed as an actor, and so I just channel that into the way I work with and talk to actors. So my background as an actor, I think, is informed by experiences as a director to an incredible degree. So they certainly fold into one another in that way.
It definitely gives you more of an insight of which direction you're coming from, and with the industry the way it is, there's just so many different personalities that you have to go with whenever you're creating a film that you have to kind of, change a little bit here, a little bit here. The way you discuss to a writer wouldn't necessarily be the same way that you discuss to an actor. So
Right.
you're getting all that rounded, being rounded out as far as that goes. The movie itself, beautiful job. I loved it, man. I do appreciate it. Giving us an opportunity to see
Thank
it.
you.
Now, what was? Did you
Well,
have any funny scenes or any funny stories from the set?
well, there are always funny stories from an independent film set. There's never enough money. There's never enough time. There's never enough light. There's always something going on. I guess one of my favorite stories about the Hollow is that I was very insistent that the climax needed to happen in the rain. Um, and my line producer looked at me and he looked at our budget. He priced a couple of real Hollywood style rain rigs, and he said, this ain't gonna happen. And I said, well, we've got to have rain. And he said, we're not gonna have rain unless I build the rain machine myself. And I said, well, you got to find a way to build it. And in fact, he did. Kevin McGrail, our amazing line producer and unit production manager, he would put that thing together with PVC pipe and sprinklers and Walmart garden hoses and hooked it up to a water truck. And by God, we had rain, and it looks fantastic in the movie. So,
That looks amazing.
so that's probably my favorite story. There are lots and lots of them. I could go on and on, but the ingenuity and the kind of a communal experience that is an independent film, and coming up with creative solutions to seemingly impossible equations. That's really what it's all about. And I had an amazing team of people that were able to do that, and that includes, my principal cast. I mean, they were all game. They were all willing to work our very impacted schedule and long hours and leave it all out there on the field. And that's what it takes to make a quality independent film.
And I think that's where what draws me to independent film most is the ability that where like when I've done films myself, with an independent filmmaker, you don't have money to throw at the problem to make it go away. So you have to
Right.
become, and you have to think about, well, I want this bucket to blow up and flip upside down. How am I going to accomplish that with a Subway sandwich and 20 cents?
Right. Right. Right.
And,
Yeah.
I think that really comes across in the screen because I'm sure there's lots of times in the shots of the hollow that you're just looking at and going, I'd really like this shot, but I'm going to have to go with this shot.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, yeah. You have to. I mean, in the original conception of the film and the script, there were so many things I wanted, cranes and all kinds of things that ultimately we just weren't able to afford. We had to find creative, dramatic solutions to those problems, and I feel pretty good about what we came up with. And oftentimes, what we came up with was better than just some snazzy crane shot. It was more effective. Um, so you're absolutely right. That there's a lot of passion and a lot of creativity and ingenuity that goes into making an independent film because there has to be because there's not money. So there has to be this X factor, right? That whereby you solve all those problems that you can't throw money at.
Sorry.
Yeah, when we were actually working on an independent film a few years ago, and basically they knew us at the dollar store by the time we were done with the production, and I think we spent maybe $50 total at the dollar store, but it was literally like $1 a trip up there.
Yeah, we're building a creature. Like, where are we gonna get this kind of? Where are we gonna get it to? We need a balloon. Okay. well, there's a dollar store up on the street. We're like, cool, go there. All right, cool. When we go there, we're like, we're looking for this. Well, we got this. It's gonna have to work.
Right. I mean, right. It probably worked beautifully. I mean, there's so many great stories. I mean, the most famous being the shark POV in Jaws, right? I mean, mechanical shark never worked, and Spielberg had to come up with a different solution. A solution to make a shark movie without seeing the shark very much. And, I mean, you look at that on the face of it, and you're like, how the hell are you going to make that happen? And the solution that he came up with is so terrifying and brilliant and so much better than seeing that mechanical shark. It makes the film. So, I mean, that's really what it's all about at the end of the day. I mean, I think necessity really is the mother of invention and creativity. And that is never more true than on an independent film set.
Excellent. And then we will be seeing you. Let's see, American Horror Story season 6. You play a character, and you're also in the Magnificent Seven, which is in theaters now. And The Hollow is scheduled to be released theaters and video on demand October 7th. What's next
Right.
What's next for you? What's your next What's next for you to go after?
Well, I've got a couple of scripts that I'm developing right now, and one in particular, psychological thriller, also set in the Deep South with a bit of a Southern Gothic twist to it, that I hope to be shooting here in the next 6 months to a year. So that's sort of the first up on my plate. Then I have another script which is a bit larger, sort of a futuristic action thriller with some social commentary. And then I'm continuing to work as an actor, and some opportunities are coming down the pike as a result of The Hollow, and nice to go to the movie theater and be in two movies that are running, in The Hollow and Magnificent Seven. That's a really really great feeling. But I would just say to audiences, our movie costs quite a bit less and needs your viewership quite a bit more. So make sure if The Hollow is in your city this weekend, go to the theater and see it. If not, check it out on iTunes or on cable VOD or Amazon, and afford this independent filmmaker the audience that he believes his film deserves.
Excellent. Well, I wanted to say thank you, Miles. I do appreciate you coming on to the show and talking with us for a little bit. The Hollow is an amazing film. If you have not checked it out, definitely take my advice. Go see it. It's worth your time.
That's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful film. Excellent job, Miles. And we wanted to say thank you for coming on to Creatures of Pop and having a few minutes with us.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it, and I hope we get to chat again in the near future.